Aaron
You're
Rodgers
good.
is a Steeler, Chris. How's this going to work out? What do you think? What's your 2 cents? What do you
I
got?
think it'll be fun. I think it'll be fun, like fun for the viewer, right? Like a lot more fun than watching, and certainly no shade, but like the next installment of a Mason Rudolph type. Um, there were moments last year where I thought Rodgers' arm looked really live, but there were a lot more moments where I wasn't sure how mobile he was. And obviously, people forecast for a player being better off 2 years removed from that Achilles. And usually that's the case, right? And the stats the last 5, 6 games of the season kind of, I mean, that might give people some hope, but I do think that's fool's gold a little bit. Like the problem with doing the whole forecasting on him turning a corner is you don't usually see guys coming off Achilles at this age. So
So,
I don't know what he's going to be like physically.
mhm.
And like if you were to tell me, hey, I think this is an upgrade over Russell Wilson, I wouldn't say I know that for sure, but if it is, how big of an upgrade? Because we always talk about quarterback purgatory, and we talk about, the being in that zone of winning 10 games in the AFC right now. Like that's not really a zone where you're going to find the future of your franchise the very next year. Now they have a lot of draft capital in 2 years or next year in the draft. And that's probably where they want to go find their quarterback of the future. But what happens if they win 13 games? Like that, I don't think this is a Super Bowl roster. Like, and I don't think that's a hot take to say. You look at the offense, they're going to have to score. Like in the AFC, you got to score. You got to score with Buffalo. You have to score with Cincinnati. Certainly, that's about all they can do right now. Kansas City, they'll play some lower scoring games in the playoffs at times, but all things considered, you have to outscore these quarterbacks. In Baltimore, I didn't even mention. So, in the AFC, it's a tough road to go thinking, hey, we're going to play complementary football and get it done with a, 41, 42-year-old quarterback, and nothing's guaranteed when it comes to his health. So yeah, I don't know, the marriage with Arthur Smith, you figure you're going to see some play action pass. How do they get into those looks? Can he pull off the footwork that's necessary to do that kind of stuff? I don't know. We'll see. But I worry that they'll just end up in QB purgatory again.
That would be something. I mean, in terms of, Russ is the best that they looked last year, right? Was the Russ Moonball type shots. And if you want to say what Rodgers is expert at for sure over the years, you'd say he throws an even deeper, moonshot type of accurate ball, or at least in the past. And now here's DK Metcalf. I'm trying to find the positives here. You know what I mean?
Here's a positive. I mean, he still throws a back shoulder like
nobody else.
It's like a work of art. I mean, really is. Now you talk about like being on the same page and all that. When he was in New York, we had the whole, and I'm not taking a shot, but I don't love seeing stuff that should be worked out in the locker room, worked out, on podcasts and that sort of thing. Like internally, like, hey, this guy didn't run his route, yada, yada, yada. Like Metcalf has not always been the most surgical route runner. And you talk about like if we end up in a situation where somebody's not on the right side of the red line, infamously, like I could see some stuff like that happening and the growing pains being tough. I don't think they have a bunch of firepower outside. I think DK's a hell of a player. But if Rodgers wants it done his way, they're really going to have to get on the same page from a timing standpoint. Like so much of what Rodgers has done lately has been quick game. And when it comes to those throws outside the numbers, like they really have to be on the same page. And so certainly I think time spent from here on out in the building is going to be huge. And that was an issue last year in New York a little bit. So I don't know, man. Like I don't want to pour, cold water on the whole thing, because if I'm on the Steelers, I want to go sign a quarterback. I'm a football player. If I'm TJ Watt, this is what I want. I don't have time to wait around for us to find the guy after a year of, unintentional tanking, passive tanking, because we don't have an option at quarterback. Like if I'm a Steelers fan, like I probably want us to find the future. If I'm a player, I want to win right now. And, I'll worry about quarterback purgatory later.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show live weekdays from 12 to 3 p.m. Eastern on Roku Sports Channel in the U.S.